Picture this. You're driving a beat-up old car wearing clothes from a thrift store, and your friends are whispering, "Wow, they must be struggling." But what if I told you that looking poor, yes, intentionally looking poor, could be the secret to building real, lasting wealth? My name is Your Name, and today I'm going to show you why the flashiest people are often the brokest, and how embracing a look-poor mindset can transform your financial future, whether you are a parent drowning in debt, a young investor just starting out, an entrepreneur chasing freedom, an independent professional like a doctor or lawyer, or someone staring retirement in the face. Stick with me for the next 40 minutes, because this video will change the way you see money, status, and your own potential. Let's dive in. Let's start with a hard truth. Society has sold you a lie. From Instagram to car commercials, we're bombarded with the idea that wealth equals flashy cars, designer clothes, and a house that screams, "I've made it." But here's the kicker. Most of the people living that life, they're broke. They're drowning in car payments, credit card debt, and mortgages they can't afford. Why? Because they've fallen into the trap of looking rich instead of being rich. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine a doctor. Let's call her Sarah. She's got a six-figure income, a shiny new Mercedes, and a wardrobe that could grace a fashion magazine. But at night, she's lying awake, stressed, because her student loans are still sky high, her credit cards are maxed out, and she's got no savings. Sarah's not alone. This is the reality for so many parents in debt, independent professionals like doctors or lawyers, and even entrepreneurs who feel the pressure to keep up appearances. The world tells you that to be successful, you have to look the part. But looking the part often means sacrificing the very wealth you're chasing. The truth is, real wealth doesn't shout, it whispers. It's not about the Gucci belt or the Rolex. It's about the freedom to live life on your terms, without the weight of debt or the fear of a single bad month wiping you out. So why do we fall for this trap? Because we're human. We want to be seen, respected, admired. But what if I told you that the people who are truly wealthy, millionaires, billionaires, the ones who've built generational wealth, often look like they've got nothing to prove? Warren Buffett, one of the richest men alive, still lives in the same modest house he bought in 1958. He drives a 2014 Cadillac. He's not out here flexing. Why? Because he knows something we need to learn. Looking poor is a strategy, not a failure. Let's talk about the status tax you're paying every day. Every time you buy something to impress others, a new phone, a luxury watch, or even a bigger house, you're not just spending money, you're trading your future. Think of it like a leaky bucket. Your income is the water, but every status-driven purchase is a hole letting your wealth drip away. For parents, this might mean keeping up with other families at school. For entrepreneurs, it's that fancy office to look legit. But here's the truth. Nobody worth impressing cares about your stuff. They care about your results. Redirect that status tax to your goals. Pay off debt. Invest in your business or save for retirement. The real flex is peace of mind, not a shiny exterior. Stop plugging holes in someone else's bucket and start filling your own. So, what does it mean to look poor, even if you're not? It's not about deprivation or living like a hermit. It is about redefining what success looks like and making intentional choices that prioritize your future over your image. Let's break this down for each of you watching. First, parents in debt. I know how heavy it feels to juggle bills, school fees, and that nagging fear that you're letting your kids down. You might be tempted to buy them the latest gadgets or keep up with the Joneses to give them a good life. But here is the truth. The best gift you can give your kids isn't a new iPhone. It is your financial stability. Imagine a life where you're not stressed about the mortgage, where you can take your family on vacation without swiping a credit card. That starts with saying no to the pressure to look rich. Instead of upgrading your car, use that money to pay off high-interest debt. Instead of buying designer clothes, put that cash into an emergency fund. It's not sexy, but it's freedom. Now, young people starting to invest. You're in a powerful position. You've got time on your side, but you're also surrounded by a culture that screams, spend now, save later. Don't fall for it. I remember being 22, fresh out of college, and feeling like I had to look successful to be taken seriously. I'd splurge on nice clothes and dinners out, thinking it made me look like I had my life together. But you know what? Those dollars could have been growing in a Roth IRA or a low-cost index fund. If you start investing just $100 a month at 25, with an average 7% return, you could have over $300,000 by the time you reach 65. That's the power of compound interest. But if you're spending to look rich, you're robbing your future self. For those preparing for retirement, you've worked hard your whole life, and now you're wondering if you'll have enough to live comfortably. The look poor mindset is your secret weapon. Stop worrying about what your neighbors think of your car or your house. Downsize if you need to. Sell that second car. Move those savings into a retirement account or a diversified portfolio. Every dollar you might spend on appearances is a dollar that can grow and protect your future. Independent professionals, doctors, lawyers, dentists, you face unique pressure. Your clients expect you to look polished, successful, like you've made it. But here is a secret. Your clients care more about your expertise than your Louis Vuitton bag. Redirect that money into paying off your Practice S loans or building a cash reserve for lean months. And entrepreneurs, listen up. Your business doesn't need you to look like a rock star. It needs you to have cash flow. Instead of leasing a fancy office to impress clients, invest in marketing, product development, or hiring the right team. Let's use a metaphor here. Think of your money like seeds. You can scatter them on the ground to show everyone you've got a big harvest, or you can plant them carefully, water them, and watch them grow into a forest that sustains you for life. The look poor mindset is about planting those seeds, not scattering them. Small choices compound into massive results. Imagine planting a single apple seed. It doesn't look like much, but over years, it grows into a tree that feeds you for life. Money works the same way. Young investors, skipping that $5 coffee daily and investing it instead, could grow to thousands over decades. Parents, cutting one subscription service and redirecting it to debt repayment shaves years off your payoff timeline. Retirees choosing a modest car over a luxury model could add tens of thousands to your nest egg. For professionals and entrepreneurs, saying no to flashy expenses, like that high-end networking event, frees up cash for smarter investments, like hiring talent or upgrading systems. Every small, look poor choice is a seed planted. Don't underestimate it. Track one expense you can cut today, and watch how those tiny decisions grow into a forest of financial freedom. Let me tell you about Mike, a single dad I met a few years ago. Mike was buried in $50,000 of credit card debt, trying to keep up with his ex-wife's lifestyle so his kids wouldn't feel less than. He drove a leased BMW, bought his kids new clothes every season, and felt like he was drowning. One day he hit rock bottom when a creditor called while he was at his daughter's soccer game. That's when he decided to change. Mike sold the BMW, bought a used Honda, and started cooking meals at home instead of eating out. He used the money he saved to pay off his highest interest debt first, then built a small emergency fund. Within 3 years, Mike was debt-free, with $10,000 in savings and a plan to invest for his kids' college. He told me, "I used to think looking rich made me a good dad. Now I know being secure is what my kids really need." Then there's Aisha, a 28-year-old graphic designer who started investing $50 a month into an ETF while living in a modest apartment and wearing secondhand clothes. Her friends teased her for being cheap, but by 35, she had enough saved to quit her toxic job and start her own design business. Aisha didn't look rich, she looked free. And for those nearing retirement, let's talk about Linda and Tom, a couple who sold their oversized house, moved into a smaller condo, and invested the difference. They went from worrying about outliving their savings to traveling the world on a modest budget, living off dividends. These stories aren't about sacrifice, they're about strategy. As the legendary investor Charlie Munger once said, "The big money is not in the buying or the selling, but in the waiting." Waiting to show off, waiting to spend, waiting to impress. That's where the real wealth is built. Comparison is the thief of wealth. Social media makes it worse, showing you curated lives that scream success, private jets, designer bags, perfect vacations. But here's the secret. Most of those people are faking it. Entrepreneurs, you don't need to match your competitors' flashy branding to win clients. Professionals, Your clients trust your skills, not your suit. Parents, your kids don't need you to compete with other families. They need your presence, not presence. Retirees, stop comparing your lifestyle to your peers. Focus on what brings you joy. Young investors, don't chase the crypto bro lifestyle. Chase consistent growth. Imagine your life as a race. Comparison makes you sprint in someone else's lane, exhausting you before the finish line. Stay in your lane. Define success by your goals, not their highlight reels. Unfollow accounts that trigger envy and focus on your own path to freedom. So, how do you start living the look poor mindset? Let's make this actionable. Step 1. Audit your spending. Go through your last 3 months of bank statements and highlight every purchase that was about looking good rather than building wealth. New shoes you didn't need? A car payment that's eating your budget? Add it up. That's your appearance tax. Step 2. Redirect that money. If you're in debt, use the snowball method. Pay off your smallest debt first to build momentum, then tackle the bigger ones. If you're debt-free, start investing, even if it's just $10 a month into a low-cost index fund. Apps like Acorns or Fidelity make this easy. Step 3. Redefine success. Write down what financial freedom looks like for you. Is it retiring at 55, starting your own business, leaving a legacy for your kids? Keep that vision in front of you, not what your neighbors think. Step 4. Embrace frugality as empowerment, not shame. Shop secondhand, cook at home, negotiate bills. Every dollar you save is a dollar you control. And finally, surround yourself with people who get it. Find a community, online or in person, who value wealth over flash. You don't need to do this alone. Here's a quick analogy. Building wealth is like training for a marathon. You don't win by sprinting the first mile and collapsing. You win by pacing yourself, staying disciplined, and keeping your eyes on the finish line. Looking poor is your steady pace. It's what gets you to the end. Gratitude is the antidote to the look-rich trap. When you're grateful for what you have, you stop craving what you don't need. Parents, be thankful for the home that shelters your family, even if it's not the biggest. Entrepreneurs, appreciate the clients you have instead of chasing a flashier image to attract more. Professionals, value your skills over your status symbols. Retirees, cherish the time you have, not the things you could buy. Young investors, be grateful for every dollar you can invest. It's a step toward freedom. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, making it easier to say no to unnecessary spending. Try this. Every day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. It could be your health, your family, or even that old car that still runs. Gratitude builds a wealth mindset that no amount of designer clothes can match. Looking poor isn't just about you. It's about the legacy you leave. Parents, paying off debt today means your kids won't inherit your stress. Young investors, starting small now builds wealth you can pass on or use to change lives. Retirees, living modestly ensures you leave something for your family or a cause you love. Professionals, saving instead of spending creates a safety net for your future. Entrepreneurs, reinvesting in your business rather than flaunting success builds a company that outlives you. Think of wealth like a river. You can splash it around to look impressive, or you can channel it to create a steady flow for generations. What legacy do you want? One of appearances or one of impact? Choose one action today. Cut an expense, invest $1 that builds a future bigger than yourself. That's the true power of looking poor. As we wrap up, I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Picture your life 5 years from now. If you keep chasing the look-rich trap, where will you be? Stressed, stretched thin, still running on the hamster wheel of appearances? Now picture this, a life where you're free. Free from debt, free to say no to a job you hate, free to retire on your terms, to build that business, to give your kids a future without financial fear. That life starts with a single choice, to stop caring what the world thinks and start building what matters. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to start. Right now, grab a piece of paper and write down one expense you can cut this month. One thing you were spending on to look rich that you can redirect to your future. Do it before you go to bed tonight. And if this video spoke to you, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join this community of people who are done with the status game and ready for real wealth. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message, a parent, a friend, a colleague. Let's start a movement of looking poor and living rich, because you, my friend, are worth more than your car, your clothes, or your house. You're worth a life of freedom. I'll see you in the next video.